For the past week, EDPR and Studio Trigger have been slowly revealing the members of the new Edgerunners 2 crew, building anticipation for the second official teaser. That trailer not only gave us our best look yet at the aesthetic of Season 2, but also our first real glimpse of the new crew in action. Hidden throughout the social media reveals, the official Edgerunners website, and the teaser itself are details you may have missed, including additional scenes that appeared only in the Korean version, and they even posted a release date of October 20th in that description. Do with that as you will. Today, we're breaking down everything we know so far about Edgerunners 2. We'll explore the characters' backstories, motivations, hidden trailer details, and what clues might hint at their eventual fates. As always, I'll be connecting these reveals back to the official Cyberpunk sourcebooks created by Mike Pondsmith, uncovering lore and connections that many viewers may have overlooked. If you're a fan of Cyberpunk lore, theories, and speculation, be sure to subscribe and check out my socials, linked down below. Now, without further delay, let's dive into everything Edgerunners 2 has revealed so far. Roman Carrix, a young cinephile and filmmaker who sought to document real stories in Night City, a place that had largely abandoned films in favor of brain dances. Due to his obsession to capture the truth, Roman closely followed other people to film their unfiltered lives, leading the young kid to learn that the stories of those living in the real world were messy, brutal, and rarely tied up with a clean ending. A witness to every gig's cost, every fall, and every legend stands a media. So this kid is obviously nuts being comfortable enough to go around Night City filming, but we will get into that soon. Firstly, I want to explain what a media is. Well, it's a role from the Cyberpunk tabletop RPGs, ranging from desperate, attention-loving sensationalists to manipulative political leaders or outspoken journalists who want to reveal the disturbing nature of the corporate-ruled world. And it was the last role I thought would get much attention from an animated project. But here's Roman, and of course, CDPR did the role justice. Throughout this trailer, we can see Roman getting extremely up close and personal to violent scenes, cyberpsychosis, shootouts, gang and scav activity, etc. All of which is shown through his camera in a beautiful VHS type filter, and behind it, the disturbing, disassociated eyes of Roman. The reason I bring him up first is that he is present in the entire trailer and involved in each character's story. There's something sinister about a character willing to do anything for the perfect shot. D is a Snake Nation nomad netrunner whose entire clan was wiped out, leading him to Night City in pursuit of his clan's killer. Firstly, what is the Snake Nation? Well, it's the largest nomad group in North America, and a member of the Seven Nations, a coalition of nomad nations formed by a series of unofficial treaties and conferences across the US. The Snake Nation is composed of independent clans scattered all across the country, claiming to represent the views of all independent groups. Due to their decentralization, they have no shared expertise and are involved in all areas of the nomad economy. By the 2040s, they were known for specializing in infrastructure maintenance and train operation. You might recall this is how they were able to assist V and the Aldecados in their raid on Arasaka Tower through their capability to provide detailed intel on a Maglev's tunnel construction site outside the city. Now back to D. His actual clan is nameless, and so is its killer, but we can see that he's hard at work leaving a trail of bodies behind him in pursuit, which shows us more of Roman's disturbing resolve to film the lives of others, obviously leaving D in a bit of shock. But what's far more shocking is the evidence of Black Wall and Rogue AI influence throughout all these clips. A violent red digital corruption erupting across the scene, controlling vehicles and wreaking havoc across Night City, just like Songbird once did. Now this is where I believe people are getting a bit ahead of themselves, saying that D is utilizing Rogue AI in his pursuit of revenge. Because if you go to the Edgerunners website, it states D sets out on a path to revenge that brings him close to corpo secrets never meant to be found. I believe that his plans were completely derailed, and rather than being the hunter, he is now the hunted by something beyond the Black Wall or from a corporation with access to it, an entity likely responsible for the other corpo deaths we see in the teaser, or perhaps an entity that has taken a liking to him. Weak Kingsley, once known as King, a veteran edgerunner at the top of his game, who now lives in the shadow of his former glory. Heavy is the crown, heavier is the chrome. In this trailer alone, we can actually decipher quite a bit about Weak. What some viewers aren't noticing is that we are seeing a time leap of his story. The obvious tell between the past and present is his reconstructed jaw. Weak is seen in his glory days running a gig with a crew against Arasaka, possibly under the employment of Militech, as we can see a flathead behind them. However, as the gig goes on, he begins to spiral into cyberpsychosis. We see through Roman's perspective that his crew is scattered, injured, and attempting to flee as Weak holds his own against what appears to be Arasaka guards. But there's a couple extra clips from the Korean trailer that gives this context, as we can see the arrival of Max Tack on the scene, successfully subduing a battered up, barely alive Weak, which then shows us a glimpse of him during recovery and after. If we go back to the Edgerunners 2 site, it states, Weak, a washed up cyberpunk legend, is now forced to live without Chrome as he searches for a sense of purpose in a world that's passed him by. So the story we can put together here is that after Max Tack successfully captured him, he was put through a rehabilitation program and forced to de-Chrome. But this takes a heavy mental toll on Weak, as he's forced to cope with no longer having the spotlight and to give up the life of a legend, getting wasted and picking losing fights at the afterlife, which feels like an intentional parallel to V's story in the coma ending. In these two scenes, we can even see Weak contemplating to end his own life, the golden finger with the K being the evidence of this. Throughout the trailer, we can also see an unknown woman appearing with her identity obstructed. But is she really unknown? Talia Yang was raised in Corpo Towers but hardened in Maelstrom's grip. Talia is fiercely independent and steeped in the gang's hyper-violent, chrome-obsessed culture. She is a tall, slender woman with pink hair and blue eyes, with a body heavily augmented by cyberware, almost to the point of a full conversion. But this trailer leads me to believe she has a modified version of the Spider full body, a reconnaissance conversion designed for covert surveillance, assassination, and conventional warfare. The giveaways being her agile movement, wall climbing, detachable legs, spiky hands and feet, and of course the thin lines we can see her spinning and utilizing, including a clip of her rescuing Roman in an industrial complex. We can also see that she comes into conflict with or defects from Maelstrom, as she fights off a dum-dum look-alike with Mantis claws, and we are even shown a glimpse of her when she's younger. Initially I thought this was a separate character, but I'm pretty confident it's just her. As for her background, there's actually more to be revealed by other sources that tie her back to the mysterious woman appearing in Weak scenes. Back to the Edgerunners website, someone on Reddit uncovered the 5th hidden character, who's currently marked as coming soon. It reads, once a jazz singer and Corpo insider, and Weak's old flame, Avita has remade her life as the wife of a King Tao executive. Her world now revolves around her fragile daughter, Talia. So now there's a connection formed between every single character. Roman is recording them all, he is having run-ins with Maelstrom, and Weak once knew Talia's mother. So where does all this information lead us? Well, it would seem to me that nothing we've seen actually takes place after at most the first 5 episodes, because not once in this entire trailer is the crew shown together, is what I would have said if I didn't look a bit harder. Here, Roman watches Dee crash out, and now this one has some implication. A clip I found in the background of the Edgerunners 2 site with an interaction between Talia and Weak. With their previously established connection, it seems Weak just might be watching over or trying to re-establish a connection with his possible daughter. That, or he is simply trying to connect to her mother through her, and they aren't actually related. But it seems to me that there is a much larger story at play here, and that all of these characters meeting is only a prelude to a story that might even connect into Cyberpunk Orion. And that is, all of them just might have a connection to a rogue AI driven plot, one that takes place after 2077. There isn't much to clue us in on this, and this is undoubtedly a bit of a reach, but I have 3 points of interest. First is the presence of the rogue AI itself. While they have always been a threat, it's many of the events in 2077 that push a possible invasion closer to reality. An uptick in Blackwall breaches, Project Cynosure, Alt's influence and access to Mikoshi, and tampering from Maelstrom, Arasaka, Militech, and Night Corp. The second is that Weak is captured during a rampage and rehabilitated, without even being forced into servitude with the max tack. Thanks, Regina Jones. And third, most importantly, is this guy wearing a 78 patch. Alright, I know it's a reach, but come on, they know what they're doing. As for the plot itself, I don't believe it's a coincidence that Maelstrom and Corpo Secrets are involved, as in 2077, multiple quest lines place Maelstrom, Night Corp, and Blackwall adjacent mysteries in overlapping territory. More specifically, Cyber Psycho Lilith, Carpe Noctem, and Project Oracle. But that would be entering conspiracy territory for now. Remember, this is a teaser. We are not getting anywhere near the full picture from anything that's been revealed this far. I mean, we are still missing 9 silhouettes from the initial teaser. What I think matters the most is that all of these stories are connected by a single suspiciously disturbed media obsessed with uncovering the truth to a dangerous fault. Now let's speak about everyone's favorite topic because Edgerunners tend to die. What will be the fates of each Edgerunner? Well, I believe there are 2 extremely likely fates to occur this season, being devoured by Rogue AI and being torn apart by scavs for cyberware. As for what characters will die, well, I think everyone except Weak will die, or at least he won't by someone else's hand. Also, I predict that Roman filmed David's death. And that, chooms, is everything I currently have to say about Edgerunners 2. A lot has been revealed the past week, and now I can't believe we have to wait until fall. Please let me know your thoughts down below. Who's your favorite Edgerunner? Are you excited to see them die a horrible death? A horrible death? If you enjoyed the video and want to see more Cyberpunk content, please subscribe and follow my socials linked down below for even more. As always, a huge thanks to all the channel members on screen. I appreciate the extra support and I'm grateful to have so many amazing viewers. So make sure to have a great week, and I will see you later, chooms.